There was a man in the Bible named Saul of Tarsus. Saul was a persecutor of the church. He was an extreme Jewish zealot. He was a Pharisee of the Pharisees. He was hyper or super religious. And when Christianity came into existence, he was totally against it. Even he began as a young man cheering on the stoning, the murder of Stephen, one of the earliest, if not the first martyr for Christendom. And he then later began to persecute the church himself, bringing people into prison. He thought he was doing the right thing. He thought he was doing a good thing, and bringing women and children in chains into prison because of their belief in Jesus Christ as the Messiah. Later, he had an encounter with Jesus on his way to go round up some more Christians to bring them to prison. And something miraculous happened. He saw a great white light and a voice speaking to him. Said, "Why are you doing this to me? Why are you persecuting me?" And he encountered Christ for the first time. He became a Christian, and he was a man of God, used tremendously of God. And he wrote a letter to a church in Galatia. It's the letter of the Galatians, and he was warning them against false apostles, men who were claiming to be leaders in the church. And, they were doing it for their own clout. They were clout chasing. And, he was warning them and telling them that, hey, these guys, they're claiming to be apostles. They're claiming to speak on God's behalf. They're claiming to love you, but they only do it when I'm around. They don't really care about you. They don't really love you. They're using you for affluence and influence. They want to gather people unto themselves to obviously power and money. Don't fall for that. He says, when I was with you guys, I came to you guys with a physical sickness. And if it was possible, you would have taken your own eyeballs out and given them to me. That's how much love you had for me. And now I'm trying to tell you about these people. And I'm warning you about these people. And where's all that love now? He says, if I become your enemy because I'm telling you the truth. In Genesis, the sin of the world was so terrible, horrible, that God said he regretted making man. But there was one person in his family, Noah, that found favor with God. And the Bible says that he was a preacher of righteousness. That means that he was living his life separate from the culture, from the society, from the tidal wave of influence that was demonic and sexually immoral and murderous. So God decided he would destroy the whole planet with a flood and save only Noah and his family. Nobody listened to him. Nobody wanted to listen to his message that, hey, judgment's coming. As a matter of fact, I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and I'm building this ark, this boat. And nobody got in it. Even the animals were smart enough. Listen, the donkeys, the jackasses were smart enough to get into the boat, but the people were not. They were too busy following the ways of their current culture and society and going with the flow. And so today, people think that this is all about Bad Bunny or about immigration or, listen, Satan is on both sides. Satan is working both sides, guys. You think that this is, people think that this is about, a stupid music concert or a performer or Billie Eilish or whatever her name is saying no one's illegal on stolen land. The most, just saying absurd things. Listen, Bush Sr., then Clinton, then Bush Jr., then Obama. They were all on the same team. Ha! And Satan makes people think that they were not, that it's really Democrat versus Republican, rich versus poor, the little man versus the big, David and Goliath situation. No. Satan is on both sides. Hello? He's trying to destroy society. And yes, Satan uses people too. Just like God uses people. I just gave you an example of Apostle Paul warning the people. God was using the Apostle Paul to warn the people of Galatia against false apostles. The false apostles were being used by Satan, and the Apostle Paul was being used by God. Noah was being used by God to warn the people of his time judgment was coming. And the people didn't listen. They followed the devil. So Satan's kingdom is not divided against itself. He's working to destroy humanity. And I see people, celebrating. Listen, just like in the days of Noah, celebrating child sacrifice and celebrating sexual perversion. Nothing is sacred. Nothing was holy. And so many of our people here in America and around the world are doing the same thing. What does Bad Bunny represent? Most people think he represents love and unity and do as you will. Do what makes you happy. Liberalism. Have no restrictions. It's what he represents, and people just don't get it. And the people that didn't get it before the flood got it when the water started coming down. It didn't rain up to that point, and they had no idea why he was building an ark. Why was he different? Well, why am I different? Why am I telling you something that Fox News is not telling you, or that CNN is not telling you? Listen, they're two sides of the same coin, guys. I'm trying to tell you something. Satan's kingdom is not divided. He's doing exactly what he does. He divides humanity, separates us from each other, and then separates us from God. He can get humans to hate each other, then you can't have God in your life. So by default, if you have hate in your heart, then you're separated from God. So how does he separate us from God? By separating us from one another. Have I become your enemy because I'm telling you the truth? You're celebrating people that are working for Satan. So whose side are you on? You can't be on God's side if you're standing with people who are antichrist. Abortion, sexual perversions, that's not God's side. Just pay attention to what's happening in the world. Take off your blinders. Take off your political blinders. Take off your religious blinders and just see what's happening. 4 years of open borders. People illegally coming into this country. Yes, there is law and order. If you don't think borders are law and order, then you are an anarchist. Anarchy is not from God. Guess who it's from? The devil. Can't have anarchy and chaos. That's not God. God is order. God is just. So if you stand with people that are creating chaos and havoc in our streets, then you are on the side of the devil. That's just a fact. If you're against law and order, you are part of the devil's kingdom. You're not part of God's kingdom. The Bible says that there's a way that a person thinks is straight, but in the end, it's destruction. You think you're on the right side, but you're on the side of the enemy if you're celebrating a man who wears a dress and says out with ice, meaning we don't want law and order, we want chaos, and you're supporting that. You are on the side of the devil. Plain and simple. So am I your enemy because I tell you the truth?